having a good day. So I'm doing this video to clear up some confusion and just to clarify the people that have gotten their channel monetized. I think a lot of people think that, you know, because the requirement to get monetized is 4,000 watch time, public watch time hours. I think they think that they have to continue to keep that 4,000 hours. Now, keep in mind, they can make things change anytime they want. However, I do think that YouTube should be more clear on this. But once a channel is monetized on YouTube, the question was, do they have to maintain the 4,000? I know they don't, but I just asked this question so I can get, this is Google Gemini, Google's AI. So I just wanted to ask that question so that it would produce the response. It says no. A channel that has already been monetized, and keep in mind, I didn't highlight that. That was the AI highlighting that first sentence. No. A channel that has already been monetized does not have to maintain the 4,000 hours of public watch time annually to stay in the YouTube Partner Program. The 4,000 watch hours or 10 million public short views is an entry requirement to apply for the program. Once accepted, your channel's monetization is maintained by following YouTube's channel monetization policies, not by continuously hitting the watch hour threshold. However, your channel can still be demonetized for other reasons. Inactivity. It does reserve the right to remove a channel's monetization if it feels like it's not uploaded a video or it's not being active, policy violations, reused content. So be very careful if you're using reused content because it's basically a discretion thing. So channels whose content is not original or lacks significant added value, such as simple compilations or re-uploads. So I know a lot of people do compilations and a lot of people do re-uploads, so that kind of puts your channel at risk if they get, you know, on a tissy or something for any particular reason that they want to. So and what is original content is subject to debate. I personally consider, and a lot of other people like myself consider, original content is that you are showing yourself, and you don't have to show yourself, I'm just saying as an example, you basically talk, you vlog, you create things, you basically create content. Whether it might be gaming or it might be, you know, showing activity in a video that you yourself created. What I don't consider original content, and what a lot of people don't consider original content, is people sitting there talking about other people. Like they'll be doing a diss or a roast or just basically talking about narrating. Okay, now a lot of people will do commentary on political events, or they'll basically they're going into a crowd of people and they're recording other people, which by the way, that puts you at a precarious situation. I know lots and lots of people do that, a lot of people, but what people don't realize that if somebody's in that crowd, right, they'll say, okay, well, it's public place, right? It's public place. But it depends on what region that you're in, because in federal court, a district court may decide that, okay, well, you're using their likeness for profit. So you'll say, for example, you have people who prank people, and they'll go into a public place and they'll do a prank, and then they'll record them pranking somebody. Now, you'll see somebody like, Big Dogs TV or something like that. They will ask them if they can use them in the video. And the reason they do that is because that way they know that they're going to put that person on their YouTube channel and they're going to make money for profit using their likeness. Okay, even though it's a public place. Now, if you take it to district court and you lose because you made money off of their likeness, okay, now maybe in some places that wouldn't fly, and it depends on whether or not you can get it all the way to the circuit court, the Supreme Court to fight that. I will never, ever use another person's likeness, like if I go out in a public place and then put it on my YouTube channel, okay, and just use them in my video without their permission, because I'm going to cover my track. And I know people are like, I don't care, a lot of people do it, I'm not worried about that, but it just takes that one person to sue you if they see you in their video and you made profit off their face. Like, it really depends, like, say, for example, like protests. People are going out into public places, the news is there, so they have an expectation that they're going to be on TV because obviously it's a public situation that's causing news to be there, so that kind of situation. But it really varies in public places, like, especially when it comes to kids. I will never put a child on a video, so you have to be careful about that too. So just really know in and out of what the policy violations are. Never ever give them any kind of way to, like, demonetize your channel. But as far as like the watch time hours, I mean, if you're like really slacking, let's say you go from like 4,000 to 1,000, they may just like, you know what, you just really aren't even trying anymore. But it's not. But they do reserve the right to demonetize you. But basically, that's like if you haven't uploaded in 6 months and your watch time hours, like I said, is reduced a lot, but just trying to like, oh, let me make sure I got that 4,000. No, that's over. Okay, that's over. Like if you want to take a week off, a 2 week off, even a month off, okay, you know, and if you're somebody that has like a lot of videos, you know, and other people be watching, maybe schedule some videos for down the road, take some time off. Don't burn out. Okay, so I'm really thankful. I was really thankful to learn this. I think it's been quite a while now. I was wondering about that when I first got monetized, and I don't think you should have to just stay there watching, make sure you're maintaining that that's crazy, right? And especially with the analytics, is that it's pretty, I would say, not the word hostile, but there's a lot of things going on with the analytics that is just, it's just up and down, so no, they don't expect you to maintain 4,000. Myself personally, I'll show you where my watch time hours are. I mean, just mine is going up. Just be consistent, right? Just be consistent. Okay, so this is from the last 90 days. Okay, and so let's go to what the last year is, and I'm at 17,000. So I mean, I don't have to worry about it, right? But I'm just continuing to be consistent. Just continue to be consistent, and I think the best thing to do is just to continue to grow in your interactions with people. When that's a struggle, that's an uphill battle on YouTube, because they're fighting interactions with other people. They're deleting comments. It's like, because that's one way that you do grow, and they know this, right? But just be consistent in your uploads. Just continue to do that. Continue to, interact with other people. And one of the things that I found that really helped me is, like, for example, like I'm in groups on Facebook, and when I shared and I had, some pretty good, I like almost 100,000, views on different types of content. So I have different types of content on my channel, but when I share it in other places, and it's one of the things I never really did on my channel, was to share on other platforms, just because I kept my stuff separate. But if I'm like in groups with specific types of content, and you share it in other places, and you do so consistently, you will pick up traffic from other places, and that really helps also. But that may not, like the watch hours will not be consistent, because they do ration your visibility. So if I'm not doing that type of content, like true crime or whatever, I'm not doing that type of content on my channel on a regular basis. Okay, and that doesn't mean just because I had a lot of views on that particular video that I'm going to continue to get that kind of visibility. That's not how it works, right? I'm not sponsored. I don't have sponsors. So here you go. So just for an example, this is my watch time out, which is pretty low. It's just about the same as usual. Okay, and as far as my subscribers, they delete so many of my subscribers. It's ridiculous. Okay, but I've already met my quota to get my first payment. Okay, but I'm not here really to make money. That's not why I'm here. So I would say if somebody's here to make money, unless you're like making tips or whatever, which I don't ask people for money, I wouldn't expect to get rich. If you're not paying out to YouTube for visibility, and your growth is slow, then expect that your payments are also going to be just small, for a while. So don't panic. My point is, don't panic, okay? Don't panic if, you're losing subscribers. They're not unsubscribing to you, I've had so many people who come to me and say, I can't even subscribe to you, it won't let me. Or I've subscribed to you multiple times, it keeps unsubbing me. You know, just, I would say collect that data. And everybody can take that to FCC, because I think that kind of stuff should be stopped. But don't panic if you don't have 4,000 watch time hours, okay? Please, that, it doesn't matter, really. And you can Google this yourself. Ask Google Gemini, or ask any AI, but especially Google AI, because that's what owns YouTube. All right, they're literally telling people that you don't need this. I hope this helps, and hope you have a blessed day. Bye.